We all got skills. We have talents and we have passions. But mine happens to be sex. This is the Funsexual podcast with your oversharing swinky best friend, Majesty. And I'm talking sex and all of the ways and all of the things that make sex, well, fun. Everybody. Welcome back to a very exciting episode of the Funsexual podcast. It is your girl, Majesty, aka the Play Party Princess, aka the Chocolate Velma. That's my new aka. It's the glasses. What is it? The Wholesome Hoe, the Sexy Sweetheart, and the Cultivator of Good Vibes. What it do? And if you are watching, which you should be watching on YouTube, look up the Funsexual podcast on YouTube. I have a guest with me here today that I'm really, really excited about. Would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Boone. I'm the owner of Experience Covet. We are a sex-positive social network. We focus on the whole person, not just parts.
I love that so much. So y'all have heard me talk about Experience Covet before. Y'all have heard me talk about the Erotic Opera that happened this weekend, which was literally, how do I even say? This is the dopest event that I've ever been to. This is the most, and y'all know I'm bougie. This is the most well curated, like kinky, and I have so many words and so little words. I'm really struggling, but the Erotic Opera. Yes. What was this event that we attended? Tell me what I attended, because I'm still...
So it was me and my team's take on not just an opera, but what pleasure means to people. Like, I feel like we don't focus on the foreplay no more. Like, there's so much goodness in foreplay. Mm-hmm. So that is exactly what I wanted it to be.
For anybody who wasn't there, just give them a taste. What did they experience? What did they see last night? What did they hear? What did they feel?
So I wanted to awaken all your senses. So we did a little bit of sensory deprivation, power exchange. We had fire cupping. There was some rigging. With the power play, I will say you were amazing. Amazing.
Y'all know the girl was out there. Y'all know I love putting my pussy out there. JK.
No, thank you for that. But it was I can't describe it. Just being in that space really was a beautiful thing, and seeing people show up and show out in their attire. I mean, and you got ripped out of yours. So.
I did. I got cut out of it. That was not part of the plan. We improv a little bit sometimes. So how do I know Boone? I know Boone from Experience Covet. I had a friend that was a part of it. She's like, there's this really dope, like a travel-based kink group of Black people, and I'm in it, and you should join it. And I was like, I got enough group chats going.
Exactly.
I got enough group chats. I don't think I'm ready to add another one. And she's like, no, like you got to check out this group. I was like, fuck it. What can just checking it out, do?
Give it a little go.
But then I saw that there was like a real intake process. I didn't just have to like write somebody on GroupMe and be like, this is my name. I'm from here. Here's my picture. Like, I want to join that group chat. It wasn't that. So can you explain the intake process for Experience Covet members and why that's important?
So you fill out an application. There is a fee. And that fee goes towards your background check. And the reason I do a background check is because I feel like we get into these spaces and you don't know who's around you. I'm not saying everybody's a predator, but how can you point a predator out? Back in the day, people be like, ooh, I could tell there's this and that.
Liar.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry.
Nah, you good. So we do a background check, and I don't care if you have a left foot because you're not driving me or any other member anywhere. It's more about the violent offenses. Any type of domestic things is going to be an automatic no. Once you're done with the background check, you actually have an interview with me. I want to have some conversation with you one-on-one just to kind of see if I have something I can offer you, and then also see where you are in your journey. And then you'll get a welcome kit, and you'll be onboarded. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the game.
For people who don't know, that really sets this apart from a lot of like spaces. So this is not, it might sound small if you don't really, if you're not in the full realm of things, but like this stuff is important. You're dealing with things where people can get hurt.
Yes.
In more ways than one, and I don't think that a lot of people acknowledge that. And I realize that a lot of the people that listen to this podcast are people who like are kind of on the outside looking in. So they hear that and they're like, but this is a big deal, you guys. This is huge. This is really, really huge. What does community mean to you?
Ooh. Community means to me building each other up. Sometimes we get into spaces where we're taught to compete. Everybody can eat. And how are we going to do the things we want to do and be the places we want to be if we always just compete with one another? So for me, it doesn't matter what type of business you have. If I can help you, I got you, and vice versa. Because if I don't have to ask anybody outside of our community for help because I got it inside, we good.
Why was it important to build? Why was it important to you to build a community within this kink space? Black kink space primarily.
To be real, it was on some, I'm tired of us having to do backyardig and shit. like, why do we always have to like eat the crumbs or get like the last bit in the pot? Like, I want to do some shit where motherfuckers be like, damn, I didn't even know. Yes. So can I cuss?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Like, why we gotta do half-ass stuff? Like, why we can't show up and show out?
Mm-hmm. Let me tell y'all something. Seeing so many beautiful black people, and it was a black tie Met Gala themed event. Seeing so many beautiful black people dressed up like that, especially after COVID, we haven't been able to like come the way we want to. You know what I'm saying? Seeing that last night was just like, this is great. And then it was just the space was sexy. Like you did a really good job like cultivating this luxurious event. I'm going to be talking about this. I'm probably going to talk about it several more times. I'm going to do a live and I'm going to talk about it because I really want people to understand that this was like
thank you
of the best people of the best to do this. So can you tell us about you? Who is Boone? What are some of your kinks? And what's your origin story?
Origin story. So I have a life partner. We've been together for, don't quote me, like 14 years, known each other for 20. She actually introduced me to the lifestyle. Like, she's a cut queen. So she's like, yo, I like watching my partner have sex. And I'm like, bet. And then I went in the bathroom and was like, oh my God. Yeah, no, I got it. I'll be real with you. I bombed. It was horrible. I did awful.
I would like to tell the story if that's allowed.
Yeah, no, it'd be allowed. So, first time out the gate, I'm like, I can do this. I don't need no help. And then I realized, like, I identify as someone on the spectrum for asexuality. So I'm not just gonna have sex with you. I need a connection. Mm-hmm. Like, we gotta feel something before I go there. But I'm like, nah, now I'm in my early 20s. I got this. And I'm like, oh, I have a connection with this person. Oh no, I'm gonna ruin my relationship. Just don't say shit. Don't say nothing. And she can see this shit clear as day. And I'm like, nah, I'm cool. And she was just like, you suck at it.
Oh, wow.
So that was strike one. Strike two, I'm like, all right, I got the lessons from one. I got this. I bombed on strike two.
I'm a 2-strike person. I'd be like, the first one is I. The second one, I'd be like, listen.
Yeah, so I bombed on strike two, and then I was like, all right, so I need to stop focusing on getting into these situations and being like, look what I can do, and actually focus on what am I doing and what I need or what my traumas are. And that's another reason why Covet is very, very important, and it holds a special spot in my heart, because I realized I was only focusing on the sexual aspect when that wasn't the thing. It was the emotional and everything else. So again, that's why I say we look at you as a whole person.
This journey is very like
yeah,
it always comes back around, and I definitely feel that from like the members, and like the chats aren't just like people just drop your nudes in the chats. Like it's really like a community. It really is community. Like there's so much to learn and like grow from, and I love that you base like the people coming into Covet as like you're on a continual journey to like learn,
Yeah,
not just like
forever
I got this and that's it. No, like there's Kink U. Do you want to explain what Kink U is?
So Kink U is our sexual, AFib. It is our educational like foundation. It's where any type of courses we've held is going to be housed there, so members can always go back and reference it. I tell members who have a specific training or background that they're free to teach the things, because again it goes back to building up one another. And I truly love it, and I want to continue to grow it. Like our classes are going to start kicking back up next month. Don't ask me what the first one is, because I gotta look at my phone.
Okay, let me tell y'all the moment that I realized what Covet was, right? So I've been in Experience Covet for I think coming up on 2 years, and we were doing things. It was like Zoom and stuff like that, and it was the group chats. But it was, you know, it was a lot during a lot, so I wasn't as like involved as I could have been. But then the Halloween party was coming up, and I was like, when I was in Colorado for Halloween, dressed as Horror the Sexplorer. Yes. I was like, all right, I'm finally gonna get to meet these people face to face. Like, it's gonna be we're gonna be in Colorado, we're gonna smoke some weed. I was really excited, even as a person who's not really a smoker.
Are you?
I'm not really a smoker.
Wow.
I'm not really a smoker.
Edible?
I'll do, so I will, if there's a blunt around, I'm gonna take a pull or two.
Okay.
Maybe like 5 or 6. But like, then I'm done. I'm not like a regular smoker. It's not something, I probably smoke like once every 2 weeks, if even.
Wow.
I'm not a smoker.
I learned something new.
I'm not a drinker. I will do some shrooms in a heartbeat. I do love to microwave.
Got some shroom chocolate.
We'll talk about
that.
It's
another one. Okay.
I know shrooms. I was saying that. Halloween party. Was really excited. I'm like, I'm going to this thing. So what did I pack in my bag? Right. I packed my costume, obviously, but I packed mad condoms. I packed mad condoms. We had some lube. We had lots of toys in the bag, costume, toiletries, and those things. But more importantly, you know, I was like, this is yes. So then we get there and pretty quickly realized that it was not like a play situation, and that these were some high level people doing some really cool things. I was like, got it. Okay, I'm not mad. I'm a little surprised because I was also going to try to fly something in, but that didn't work out. Luckily, that was when I realized, like, let me take a step back and really look at this holistically and say, oh, this is something different. That was the moment that I realized.
Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. But we did do after the Erotic Opera last night. We did have the PLP dungeon, the pop-up dungeon. Do you want to explain that? Is that, first of all, is that going to be something that's going to be like a regular thing for events?
Working on it.
Yes, okay.
So, with the pop, you ever been to I've been to a few dungeons, and you walk in and you like, I'm not touching nothing.
Very much so.
Like, why are my shoes sticking to the floor? Like, you get into these spaces, and please, in any dungeon like that, don't be like, oh, she talking about.
No, I bash people. I'm judgy. I'm bougie.
Yes, I'm judgy.
I'm judgy.
I felt like, again, it's another opportunity to show that you can still do some nasty shit, but also in a space that makes you feel like doing nasty shit ain't wrong.
Really, you do some nasty shit with dignity.
Yes.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. I like that so much. So now that you've had this dope ass event, what is next for Covet? What do you see besides the courses, the new courses that you're launching? What other things? What do you see Covet holistically?
So the next thing is the Halloween ball. Because I'm be real with you, as long as I can remember, I've been infatuated like with Seal and Heidi Klum back in the day when they threw Halloween balls. They would go all out for them shits, and I was like, I'm doing that, but I'm doing it for my community. So the Halloween ball will be next, and that is again an opportunity to show the fuck up and show out. Like, I've seen some dope ass costumes and cosplay from our community, but they don't get no recognition.
This Halloween only part it was, again, in true Covet fashion. It was so classy. There was no reason I should have been in there dressed like Horror the Sex Explorer.
I loved your outfit though, because it's an opportunity to show who you are.
I didn't read the room. I didn't read the room. Okay.
Most people, you know what I'm saying, you did something different. Like, I love people, but don't get me wrong. Like, everybody can't be a whore vampire. Like, I'll switch it up. Like, and you did that.
It was Marie Antoinette. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
the very Count Dracula. It's giving Transylvania. And I was Horror the Sex Floor off in Nickelodeon in 1999.
And I loved it.
Let's do it. I like it. One thing that I really don't get to. First of all, you're I think the fourth guest that I've had on this podcast. I want to do guests all the time, and it just kind of don't work out because I like a face-to-face interaction. And one thing that I don't get to talk about is the experiences that I don't have. So I wanted to ask you about how your experience in this kink space has been as a Black lesbian woman that is kinky. Like, how has that experience shaped you, or how has that experience been?
Oh man, when I first started looking for a mentor, I realized quick that ain't gonna be something you gonna find. Like, I would ask. First, I started off just looking for like women, like dominant women, dominates, like dominatrix. And a lot of them were like, yeah, nah, we don't take on mentees.
Where were you looking for these people?
So first off, I was on the East Coast.
Okay.
I was in North Carolina. Don't judge me. My mother
I know
picked
some
that,
nasty
not
people
me.
there. Okay.
King F, shout out North Carolina. And it was no. So this is online. So I'm emailing people, like really reaching out to motherfuckers, and they're like, nah. So then I went with, fuck it, I'm a man, it's fine. I need someone to kind of help guide me. And
were you looking at for Black people specifically?
Yes.
Okay.
And a lot of them were like, the men were like, you gotta be my sub for X amount of days and weeks.
Vomiting! Ugh!
And I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna pass on that. Thank you so much. Thank you. So for me, it has been a learning curve.
How did you know that was, I don't want to say how did you know that was wrong, but how did you know that was wrong, that was not the way that you were going to go about it?
There's a way to talk to people. Like, if my message is like, I'm trying to find a mentor, this is what I'm into, like I'm running it down to you, and your message reply is 2 sentences like, you gotta be myself for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, that's thank you, but delete. Just don't even reply, just hit delete. So finding a space where people accepted me for me. Like, I have some amazing men in my life, but I'm not interested in being a dom or anything to them. Like, I'm into women. So I got into a space where they didn't know where to put me, so they just put me in the male doms, female subs. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not a sub. I'm like, what you in here for? I said dom, I didn't know what to do.
Hello. I thought that was obvious, but okay.
Man, so it has been a learning curve, but I appreciate the lessons I've learned.
So where did you end up finding a mentor through that process?
So he wasn't a mentor. It was his name. I don't know if he's still on Twitter, but his name is Once Upon Sir Starry Night, and it's a random ass white man. Oh. And he's like and the reason I talked to him,
he was looking for a Black woman. He found a white man.
So his first message to me was like, I'm gonna be real with you. Our experiences will never be the same. When I walk in that. Right. He's like, when I walk in a room and you walk in a room, it's gonna be 2 separate things. So he's like, I'm gonna give you just some basic lessons, things to watch out for, things to be mindful for. He's like, after that, that's all I got. And I respected him for that. And for years, I would just bounce ideas off of him, not as my mentor per se, but just someone who was like, nah, yeah, that sounds stupid. Don't do it. Yeah. Or, yeah, you fucked up. This is what you do. So I respected him for that.
And did you find him through hashtags or something? Like, how did you end up stumbling?
Oh, man. So I got on Twitter, and I can't even tell you what I was typing in, just looking for people. How does this work here? So first off, I don't like being on my phone a lot. I get headaches from being on computers and stuff. But during that time, I'm just up all night like, I think I found somebody. Nah, I didn't find nobody. So once I found him, it was a wrap. But I cannot remember what I typed in to find him. But once I did, I'm glad I did.
And how do you want to cultivate a space and experience Covet of like learning and getting better? Like how do you see that shaping out as far as people receiving training or seeking somebody for training?
So we added a group in the community where people, whatever walks of life, whatever you do, have an opportunity to just say, hey, this is what I do, or yo, I have this connect X, over here, or if you need something, reach out to this person. So building on that is definitely something I'm trying to do. But also just talking to people. We don't talk to people no more. You instantly go in somebody's box and you're like, yo, what that thing do? And it's
or you
like,
look at 4 pictures and think you know them. You don't know shit about. You saw a tweet. Please, I do this for shock value.
Right. That ain't me. So yeah, that is something.
That is awesome.
I have a question for you.
Oh, yeah.
So when I first started like looking on your page, and I've watched some of your podcasts, I've seen you grow. Do you feel like Covet has helped? Or just been around the block and you're like, oh, here we go. Do you feel like you've been able to continue to find out who Maj is?
I definitely do. So I primarily lately over the last like 2 years find myself in more swing spaces and not so much in kink spaces.
Okay.
And my intro into kink spaces, it came from definitely a place of consent, but it definitely wasn't a place of like really learning and engagement.
Gotcha.
And so being a part of a community that is definitely big on the learning and big on the engagement and big on I really fuck with y'all. Like, I really fuck with y'all. Like, everybody has projects and businesses and things going on, and everybody, supports each other and encourages one another. And, like, the harnesses, like, Adorned by Maj would not be happening without your partner. So, like, literally, a series of voice notes back and forth was like, okay, I'm gonna do this!
Yes!
Like, that
the piece you had on last night was... Like, I was blown away by it.
You gotta see. I got another set. I'm gonna show you.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Please do. I got some ideas for you.
I would love to do some type of collaboration situation. But like, these are people. I fuck with these people. I really fuck with these people. And even if it's just if Boone thinks you're cool, then I know that you at least semi-solid. At least semi-solid. I just spent an entire day with somebody from Covet that we just met this weekend, and we had a couple hours to kill and just kicked it all day. And it's like these are solid people, and they're not bad looking, y'all. Sometimes it's a little hard to find the black kinky folk that are well versed and are solid people. They're not creepy and are attractive like that. It's like a pool that just kind of dwindles down. There's a lot of them here, so I'm definitely not mad at that at all. Yes, I was saying all that to say Covet has helped me, definitely has helped me grow. It has helped me see that if there's something that I want to do, like there's nothing wrong with like trying it and saying like, fuck it, I don't want to do it. Even if there is time invested, it's like, fuck it, I don't want to do this no more, and I don't have to do it. That doesn't have to be my identity. There's so much stuff out here. And this year in general has just enhanced my understanding of what community actually is. Community isn't just people in a group chat. Community is people who are like on a Zoom call crying with you. Like there was a day that we were in the aunties chat, and I'm never in that chat. But this one day I was just it was a series. I don't think I was recording a podcast at the time, but there was a period that was just really heavy on me because it was around my father's birthday. And I just have a very difficult relationship with my father, daddy issues. But I'm never on this Zoom call with these people doing the auntie chat with some of the members. But the day that I came in, they like virtually hugged me in the way that I needed so bad. And it wasn't like you ain't never here, but you want to pop in on a day you need something. It was like, no, this is someone we care about. This is family, this is family, this is community. And they really I cried for a while. I cried for a long time. I remember you in the background because you weren't even on the auntie chat. Your partner was. And I remember hearing you in the back, what's going on? Yeah,
it's important.
Because you care, and some people don't. And
I mean, you have to. Me taking your money or telling you need to be on this chat or you need to do this means absolutely nothing if you're not growing. Now you just on there. We just all up there. Just up there.
So, it's a special place. It's is why I talk about it so much. This is I want to put like Experience Covet like in my FedLife bio or something. Like I want to like have it like a hashtag or something. Like I want to wear that shit like a badge. Like I'm very proud.
I think I have a sticker for you.
I want a fucking sticker.
I got you.
We're gonna wrap up this episode of the Funsexual podcast. But before we do that, two things. One, where can everyone find you and anything that you want to plug?
So experiencecovet.com, and honestly, I want to plug everybody that participated, from Zeroya and Pup to King Hef. Is it Priestess Pussy? Mosh. Tiffany. We had a celloist. Let's see who else. So I call him Fire Marshal, and he's Detroit now, but I also know him as Bro Hofer Show. Let's see, and Cotton. So shout out to all the people who made Cinnamon Vixen and John. I'm not even gonna butcher his last name. They're both from New Orleans. Just thank you.
And before we wrap up the episode, do you have an affirmation that has been very prevalent, or an affirmation that you would like to share? I like to close out with an affirmation.
Life is short, so live it.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yes.
And on that note, that is it. Thank you so much, y'all.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for taking the time to do this in my mobile studio.
This is fire. This is a dope ass setup. Seriously.
Stop it. I could use some sponsorships if somebody want to give me some matching mics. That would be great. I also have a Amazon wish list, but we could talk about that.
I think later. I might got you on that.
No. I like for people. No.
Not me. Like I might have a hookup for you. That's what I'm talking about.
See, this is community, dog. All right, y'all. Peace out. Love you.